Question number 8, Andrew Bailey.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Building and Construction. How do the latest reports on the level of building activity in Auckland and nationwide for the month, quarter and year compare to 2016?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Building activity is booming, with the latest March figures showing new records in both residential and commercial activity in Auckland as well as nationwide. In March 2017, 20% more homes were consented in the March 2016, both in Auckland and nationally. The quarterly and annual figures also showed strong growth. There were 30,626 new homes consented in the last year, which is the highest in 12 years. That's up 2,837 on the previous year. That was up 2,700 on the previous year. That was up 2,600 on the year before that. This is the 6th straight year of strong growth in home construction, the longest and strongest ever.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Andrew Bailey.
What do the latest reports have to say about the level of investment in building activity?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
The level of investment in March at $2 billion was the first time ever that $2 billion had been scored in any month since record began, and that includes in both real and inflation-adjusted terms. The level of investment for the year hit a record of $19.5 billion, made up of $12.7 in residential work and $6.8 billion in commercial and infrastructure work. Never has New Zealand had the combination of record investment in residential, commercial and infrastructure work all at the same time.
Supplementary question, David Seymour.
Are they not the real facts that the recent 8-year rise in output came off the back of a 40-year low in home consenting, that the rate of home building per capita has halved since the 1970s, and that high prices are not a sign of greater productivity?
Mr Speaker.
Order. Order. The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the member is absolutely true that at the end of 2008 and the first month of 2009 was the lowest level of new home construction ever since records began, and that shows the mess that was left at the time Labor left government. In terms of the scale of build, the level of investment right now is the highest ever in real terms, and I would caution the member against the last peak in 2004, which was only residential activity, very little activity in commercial infrastructure work, and furthermore I'd remind the member that if the comparison is 2004, that was the worst year of leaky home construction, and this government is determined to get quality as well as quantity.
Supplementary question, David Seymour.
Would the Minister's answer have been different if the point of comparison was not 2004, but actually 1974?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, I would urge the member to look at the history in 1974, when the government of the day resulted in a huge economic dislocation that actually contributed to great hardship in New Zealand in the late 70s and 80s. This government does not want a repeat of the economic circumstances of the mid-1970s that were a disaster for this country.
Mr Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, Andrew Bailey.
What do the latest reports say about where this building activity is occurring?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the latest reports show the strong building activity is not just across residential, commercial and infrastructure, but is also incredibly spread across New Zealand. So if we take commercial building activity in Auckland over the last year is up 20%. In Gisborne it's up 35%. In the West Coast it's up 100%. In Otago it's up 60%. In my home community of Nelson it's up 200%. And this just reinforces that commercial building activity across New Zealand reflects the high level of confidence that there is in the New Zealand economy.